Hello, this is Trish Agel Roberts, and this is Mental Nectar, Current Conversations and Magic Meditations. So, my idea for this was to have a little conversation about what's going on, just current stuff, and then to put it in a box and take a few minutes to settle our minds and get into a few minutes of meditation. So, my name is Trish Agel Roberts. I am the founder of Honey Butterflies Wellness and Transformation, and also Black Vegan Life. And I'm also the author of my self-help memoir, which is called Thinking Outside the Chrysalis, A Black Woman's Guide to Spreading Her Wings, and coming out November 11th, 2020. I love that date, 11/11/2020. I have a new book coming out. It's actually a journal, and it's called 12 Steps to Mind-Blowing Happiness, a journal of insights, quotes, and questions to juice up your journey. And if you follow me at all, you know that I love that word juicy. It's just because it's juicy, right? So I love that word. And a lot of times when I talk about happiness and self-actualization and fulfillment, I talk about life getting just really good and delicious and juicy. So keep your eyes out for that. I do have my business website, which is honeybutterflies.com, honeybutterflyz.com, and I have my new website, which is mindblowinghappiness.com. So look out for lots of new good things coming from me in the next few weeks. So for today, what I want to talk about, you could probably guess, is our election season. But I was thinking about it as it relates to happiness, right? So in the Declaration of Independence for these United States, it says that we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So I thought, how interesting, right? I'm always talking about happiness, and a lot of times people will say, it almost seems self-indulgent to talk about happiness or to have a big focus on that. But it's in the Declaration of Independence. So there you go. I do want to say one thing too. I'm sitting on my patio and I have neighbors. So I'm hoping they can behave themselves for the next 20 minutes or so that we can have a nice meditation. But if there's any weird background noises, once I get started, just consider it like white noise, and just remember that I am sitting outside. But so I thought about the Declaration of Independence really giving us this idea that we should be pursuing our own happiness. And then I started thinking, what does a happy government look like? There's a lot of talk in this election season about whether you want this idea of democratic socialism, that Bernie Sanders, I think, kind of coined that term, or if you want something more closer to traditional, well, I call it traditional capitalism, right? So I decided to find out which countries are actually the happiest. And I pulled up a list. The US actually falls number 18 on the top 20. So I'm glad we were at least on the list, but we certainly weren't at the top. So the countries that are at the top, you probably may have already heard this: Finland, and then it seems like that whole area. So Finland, Denmark, Switzerland. I knew someone who lived in Switzerland. He married a Swiss girl, I guess you would say. And they didn't have to worry about healthcare and pregnancy. And it just seemed like a lot of the things that we worry about here, like paying for education, paying for healthcare, were not things that they had to be concerned about at all. So Finland, Denmark, Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, the Netherlands, Sweden, New Zealand, they're all in the same neck of the woods for the most part. Luxembourg, Austria, Canada, our neighbors to the north, are number 11. And Australia is 12, the UK is 13, Israel is 14, which is interesting, and Costa Rica is 15. I was there recently and I can see why. Ireland 16, Germany 17, the US was 18, and then behind us was the Czech Republic and Belgium. So those were the top 20, and it looked like, you know, the things that people want their governments to do to make them happy were, one, provide social support networks, you know, so some of the things I was talking about, like education and healthcare being not a cause for concern. Having social trust, so I think having belief that the system works. To me, that could almost be considered justice, right? Because there's a contract and there's a sense that it's being met on both sides of the equation. And then an honest government. Well, that's huge, right? You know, we see different parts of the world where there's a lot of corruption in the government. And then it seems that, you know, we probably always have a little bit of government corruption because you're going to just have bad eggs, right? But these past 4 years seem to show like just really blatant corruption from where I sit. So the social support networks, the social trust, which I think is justice, a sense of justice, honest government, so, you know, not a very corrupt government, of course. And then people want to feel safe, right? We want to feel safe in our neighborhoods. And then an ability to have a healthy lifestyle. So access to fresh foods, clean water, the ability to be outside. I'm recording. That was my neighbors saying hello. So the ability to access fresh foods and water, and to be outside, you know, have preserved spaces like parks or nature trails and those types of things. So just something to think about when you think about happiness, right? Because we think about working on our own personal happiness, but we do need support systems. So I just thought it was really interesting to look at what types of governments make people happy, particularly during this election season. And I'm going to end on that. The only other thing I have to say is make sure you go vote. I don't even know what else I would say about that, right? Voting is critical to having a democracy, you know, having a voice in your government. And we already said we need a good government to make us happy, so we need to have a voice in that government. So let's get ready for our magic meditation. So if you are like me and you're sitting in a chair, it's helpful to have your feet planted flat on the floor. And you might want to move your booty back. It just kind of helps you sit up straight a little bit more in your chair. And you do want to sit up straight because it makes a difference as far as the flow of energy in your body. And before we get into relaxing the body and posture and all that stuff, I just want to talk a little bit about the purpose of meditation. So meditation really gives us a way to clear our minds. And in that way, it allows us to increase the joy in our life as well, right? You can't really be joyful if your mind is always cluttered and busy and, you know, full of self-talk, maybe sometimes negative self-talk. It also creates some space between thought and action. So if you, you know, maybe get triggered by something, maybe somebody says something really ridiculous, and you go straight to anger, the practice of training the mind in meditation allows you to have a little space between something that you dislike and your response to it, so that you can have a response that is, you know, that feels good, that's healthy for you, as opposed to a response that doesn't make you feel good and doesn't make anyone around you feel good. So we can think about that a little bit. And let's get ready. So if you're in a chair, feet are flat on the floor. If you're sitting on the floor, you can sit cross-legged or legs straight out, whatever feels good to you. And don't worry about not moving at all. Like if your leg falls asleep or something like that, you can totally adjust your leg. I can't see you anyway. You can only see me. But the goal is to exercise the mind, not the body. So whatever position you choose for yourself, you want to be comfortable and you want to be able to stay in that position for, I would say, at least a good 10 minutes or so. Maybe 10, 15 minutes. Okay? So let's start by taking a few breaths together. You're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth with an audible sigh. So inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale and exhale. And then let's take the shoulders up and back. Rest the palms gently on the knees or the thighs. Your eyes can be open or closed. So if you keep them open, you want to just have a soft gaze, about a foot or 2 feet in front of you, not really focused on anything. And we're going to start by relaxing the body. So first bring your attention to the crown of your head, and then imagine that that area is warm and relaxed. Bring your attention to your forehead. Imagine that area is warm and relaxed. And then I want you to relax the muscles in your face. So you might want to move your mouth around a little bit, kind of, something like that. And just, and then when you're done, just release your jaw, release your eyes, release your mouth, and let that whole area relax. And then imagine a warm blanket is wrapped around your neck and face. You might even want to roll your neck. I find that feels really good. And just let the whole shoulder area relax. We hold a lot of tension in our neck and shoulders. So really just consciously release that. And then relax the upper arms. Relax the lower arms. Let your fingers relax. Relax your throat. Relax your chest. Relax your belly. Relax your hips. Relax your thighs and your knees. Relax your calves and your feet and your toes. And then scan your body from head to toe. From your toes all the way up the legs. All the way up the spine to the crown of the head. Scan up and down the arms. And notice if you find any tension. And if you do notice any tension, just consciously relax that area. And then notice your breathing. So don't change your breathing at all. Just see if you can notice the sensation of air as it enters and leaves the body right at the tip of your nostrils. So we know that meditation benefits us. It makes us calmer, more focused, more peaceful. It benefits everyone that we come into contact with, our family, our friends, strangers at the grocery store with us, or at the gas station with us. So it really benefits our communities, our nation, and even our world. Go ahead and continue to follow your breath. And as you notice thoughts arising in your mind, imagine that they're clouds in a vast sky. So don't follow the thought, just notice it and watch it pass. Your mind is clear, like a clear blue sky. And as your thoughts arise, don't judge them and don't follow them. Just watch them as they pass, as if they were clouds against a blue backdrop of sky. Continue to focus your attention on your breath, that very subtle sensation of air as it enters and leaves the body. You might notice it's cooler on the inhalations and warmer on the exhalation. And then see if you can follow the breath a little farther into your body. Maybe past the nostrils to the back of the throat and into the lungs. And then see if you can follow that breath in reverse. Out of the lungs, past the throat, until it dissipates outside the body. Continue to notice your breath And notice the vast, open expanse of your mind. If you find your mind wandering, just remember those thoughts that arise are just clouds. Notice them, but don't follow them. Stay focused on the breath. Let any thoughts be passing clouds. And notice the vast expanse of a blue sky. And then imagine from that blue sky, there's golden sunlight that enters your body through the crown of your head on every inhalation. So inhale that golden sunlight from that vast blue sky. And feel it come into your body, bringing with it happiness, clarity, abundance, and physical well-being. So on every inhalation, allow that golden sunlight to radiate into your body, bringing abundance, inspiration, confidence, clarity, and physical wellness. If you notice any thoughts, just continue to observe them as passing clouds. Continue to enjoy that golden sunlight coming from that beautiful, vast sky, coming from the clarity of your mind. Let it fill you up with peace, inspiration, confidence, clarity. And let's just abide in that feeling for a few more moments here. You should feel light, take just a few more breaths here. So we know that meditation benefits us It makes us calmer, more focused, more peaceful. It benefits not only us, but everyone we come into contact with, our family, our friends, our city, our nation, and even our world. Take a few more breaths here, enjoying that feeling of peace and that feeling of lightness. And then when you're ready, gently release your concentration and slowly arise from your meditation. So if your eyes are closed, you want to open them slowly. And then you can bring some movement back to your body. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I was trying to not run into any overtime, so I think I did okay. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.